armor level Digivolutions. Some are awesome and some not so much. Both Kairi and TK have them, but what about the rest of the DigiDestined from Adventure? Today, we'll be giving the DigiDestined armor level evolutions. As always, before we drop into today's video, go ahead, hit the sub button, and do the rest of the things. It helps this channel grow and grow. Once again, thank you all so much for the love, comments, likes, and subs over these past 2 weeks. It's really been making me motivated to keep posting and making more Digimon content for you. Let's see if we can get the DigiGoons channel to 30 subs by the end of next week. Anyways, let's get to the video. Alright, what's up everyone? DigiGoon Anthony here, and right off the bat, we'll be starting with Sora and Mimi. A little preface before we go into each DigiDestined. They will all be getting an armor evolution based on their own Digi-Egg/crest, and one based on the partner that I've assigned them with. Now, some of these EVOs are going to be a huge stretch, cause, I'm not gonna lie, there's not that many armor evolutions. But, let's start with Sora and Piyomon, with the Digi-Egg of Love. Piyomon will Digivolve into Swanmon. Other than the Evo obviously being a bird, swans are often associated with love. Even in myth, swans are often associated with light, purity, transformation, intuition, and grace. Swans are synonymous with loyalty and love, and Sora's loyalty to Piyomon and love for her friends is what really made me choose this evolution. Now, if Piyomon were to Digivolve using, let's say, the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, I decided to go off the beaten road a bit and choose Nohemon. I wanted to still focus on birds with the armor evos for Piyomon and Sora, and one interesting thing about Nohemon is that the Scarecrow is not the actual Digimon, it's the bird. The bird skillfully manipulates the Scarecrow, bewildering the enemy and controlling the battlefield. Okay. Let's move on to Mimi. Her first armor evo will be for the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. Now, the obvious choice for Palmon is for them to become Ponchomon, but I don't want to copy what's basically already there, so instead I went with Kabukimon. Drawing influence from Kabuki dances and similarities to later Digivolutions like Lilymon, I felt as though having a more masculine looking evolution could create a nice opposite for the very hyper-feminine evolutions that Mimi ends up getting. As for the Digi-Egg of Love, Palmon will Digivolve to Owlmon. With Owlmon, I wanted to show off the smarts that Mimi has that often are overlooked. I also wanted to stick with the theme for the Crest of Love being something that kind of makes you fly. We see that with Wholesomon, who gets bigger, and even with our own EVOs for Sora. Next up, we have the holders of the Crest of Reliability and Knowledge, Joe and Izzy. Let's start with Joe and Gomamon and the Digi-Egg of Reliability. Using the Digi-Egg of Reliability to Digivolve, Gomamon will turn into Tylomon. With Tylomon, I wanted to keep a sense of continuity between the designs, and Tylomon does resemble Gomamon in a sense. They both share a similar body type and build, and Tylomon even looks a bit like Plesiomon, a common replacement for Gomamon's Mega Evolution. I like the speedy looking body of Tylomon as well. Wikimon even states, because of its unique form, it holds the alias of Jet Plane of the Deep and has a fast moving speed underwater, and it even contends for first place with Metal Seadramon. Speed is key with this armor evolution. For Gomamon's evolution with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge, I decided to go with Honeybeemon. So for this one, I had no thoughts on why I chose it. I just kind of thought it looked cute, like Gomamon. Anyways, moving on. For Izzy and Tantomon's armor evo with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge, he will turn into Flybeemon. With this, I wanted Tantomon to become a kind of up-close fighter, and keep the same tone of red in his design that he loses until he becomes Mega Kabuterimon. Now, I had trouble deciding on this next one. If Tantomon were to evolve using the Digi-Egg of Reliability, I think he would Digivolve to Manta Raymon. I wish we had an octopus-esque armor evo for reliability to emphasize the knowledge aspect still, but whatever. I think Manta Rays are smart, right? Next up, we got Tai and Agumon, and Matt and Gabumon. For Matt and Gabumon, I decided that with the Digi-Egg of Courage, Gabumon would become Lynxmon. Now, I didn't want to pick Alomon again. Check out my What If Gabumon Digivolved with the Crest of Courage vid, by the way. So Lynxmon was the obvious choice for me here. Having a giant dog-cat thing become a giant cat made of fire? That's just way too cool. As for the Digi-Egg of Friendship, I think having Gabumon turn into Thunderbirdmon would be sick. Typically with the Crest of Friendship, Digimons turn into speedy things with thunder-like attacks, like Ragermon. Having Gabumon turn into a high-flying speedster with lightning attacks would be so awesome. Okay, for Tai, promise you won't get mad. If Agumon were to Digivolve with the Digi-Egg of Courage, I think he would become a Flame Dramon. Yeah, I don't know, everything else felt off, and this one just felt right, you know? Let's say you make it orange, then bam! It's a little different, and still cool. I know it's a cop-out, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Agumon and Vmon do go hand in hand. Alright, now if Agumon were to Digivolve with the Digi-Egg of Friendship, I think he would become Rinkmon. I like the idea of Agumon becoming an elegant skater instead of a stubby little dino. Not much else to it though. Lastly, we have TK and Kari. Now they both already have armor evolutions with Pegasusmon and Nefertimon, so with a simple switch of their Digi-Eggs, Patamon would become Gargomon to play off of Andromon, and Gatomon would become Moosmon to play off the form of Pegasusmon, kind of like a parallel to the two. And I think Gargomon fits Andromon as a nice piece of symbolism. What is something you often see associated with angels and churches and stuff? Gargoyles. That wraps it up for today's video. Let's see if we can hit 30 subs by the end of next week. Once again, thank you all so much for supporting DigiGoons. It really means a lot to me. I want to keep making things I'm passionate about that you all can enjoy. Alright, before I go, make sure you like, comment, sub, and hit that bell. It really, really does help us. Alright, well, this is Anthony, signing off. Goons, out.